Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? Well, we're looking at sequences, and specifically, we're going to start off here by looking at arithmetic sequences. And specifically, we're looking to see if we can recognize or determine if we have an arithmetic sequence. But let's get a little bit of vocabulary out of the way. A sequence is just a set of numbers. And we call any individual number in that set a term of the sequence. They're in a specific order. And we're looking for a pattern between this set of numbers or within this set of numbers. And if a set of numbers can be identified as an arithmetic sequence, we can find what we would call the common difference. In other words, we can recognize within the pattern that each successive number, if we added or subtracted a given number, and that held true through that set of numbers, then we would have identified a set of numbers, or a sequence of numbers, let me put it like that. And if we see these little three dots in a sequence, then that tells us, that's actually called an ellipse, and that tells us that this set of numbers continues on out to maybe infinity, or there's more numbers in the sequence than what we were actually given. Now again, if we're looking at a set of numbers and we determine that it is an arithmetic sequence, then we would see and find that there is a common difference between each number in that sequence. So let's take a look at this first one here on the left. So here we start with negative 26, and our next number is negative 22. And we're looking there to see if arithmetically, by adding or subtracting, can we see that there is a difference? Well, what is the, first we want to establish what is the difference between negative 26 and negative 22. And that difference is going to be 4. Now, you might say, how do we get to 4? Well, I mean, I could just look. But if I understand the number line, let's do this. Let's say that I've got negative 26 out here. And then my next number is negative 22. Well, between 26, I'm going to have negative 25, negative 24, negative 23, negative 22. There's 4 numbers between those. Or I could look at it like this. If I take the absolute value of negative 26 and I subtract from that the absolute value of negative 22, what is going to be my difference? Well, the absolute value of 26 is 26. And the absolute value of 22 is 22. And if I subtract 22 from 26, I get 4. Now, well, that's just the first, between the first and the second number in the set of numbers. And now I've got to look at each successive number that I have to see if this common difference holds true. And if I go from negative 22 out here to negative 18, and if I needed to, it's a sloppy 18, and let's see if we can erase that. I can see that I also have a common difference of 4. Or if I took the absolute value of 22, which is 22, and the absolute subtracted from it the absolute value of 18, or negative 18, that's 18. Well, 22 minus 18 is 4. And I go to look at the third number here in this sequence, and I do the same thing. I'm out here now at negative 14. There's 4 numbers between negative 14 and 4 integers between negative 18 and negative 14, and there's 4 again. So I'm seeing a common difference of 4. And if I'm being asked to determine, is this an arithmetic sequence? Well, on this one, I could say, well, yes, I believe there is. Shazam. All right, let's look at this second set of numbers. Now, in this second set, I've got 1, 4, 9, and 25. And again, I'm looking for the common difference. Well, the difference between 1 and 4 is 3. But what about between 4 and 9? The difference between 4 and 9 is 5. And if I continue on and look at this fourth number that I'm given, the difference between 9 and 25 is 16. And so I do not have a common difference in this set of numbers. And so therefore, if I'm asked if this set of numbers is an arithmetic sequence, well, I would have to say, no, I do not believe that it is. Okay, identifying arithmetic sequences.